Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make a very special Chinese fried rice dish. Chinese. Hey, what's up everyone? Today I'm going to teach you how to make a very special Chinese fried rice dish. It is called Yin Yang Chao Fan. Or on the west coast of USA, this is called honeymoon fried rice. So Yin Yang Chao Fan is a golden fried rice covered in two very delicious sauces. One is a very rich tomato sauce. Number two is a very savory white sauce. Or in America, it's called lobster sauce. So for most of my Asian viewers, you would know what Yin Yang Chao Fan is, because we eat this in Chinese banquets or even in dim sum restaurants. But for my non-Chinese viewers, you might not find this at an American Chinese fast food restaurant. So if you've never seen this before and love fried rice, you should make this for your family. And ever since I started making Yin Yang Chao Fan for my daughter Alice, it's been her favorite fried rice ever since. So let's get started. Alright, so there are 3 steps to making Yin Yang Chao Fan. Don't worry, it's very easy, basic, simple steps. And I'll get to all the ingredients as we go along. So let's start with step number 1, making the fried rice. And right here, I have about 400 grams of Jasmine rice, which is long grain rice. This is about 2.5 cups of rice, which I left overnight in the fridge so that it can dry out. Drying out your rice is a very, very important step for a delicious fried rice. And to this fried rice, I'm going to add 1 whole egg, plus 2 egg yolks, and for these egg whites, we're going to save it for making the white sauce, which is step number 3. Oh, and one more thing for the fried rice, you need to make an S shape out of some tin foil. And if you really want to follow along on my recipe, I just want to note that this is an 8-inch plate. This is what I'll be using to serve the Yin Yang Chao Fan. So you're going to need a flat piece of aluminum foil and just bend it into a S shape. This way, it'll give that distinctive Yin Yang Chao Fan pattern. Alright, so step number 2, to make the red sauce. So right here is just 150 grams of dark meat, and I'm just going to shred these into thin strips. Just like that. And then I'm gonna marinate the chicken lightly with a dash of ground white pepper and a dash of salt. And finally, half a teaspoon of Chinese cooking wine. And just give it a mix for like a minute. Next up, just 60 grams of shredded yellow onions. Just slice it sort of thin, about like so. Set it aside. And right here I have 60 grams of tomatoes, and just cut them into wedge shapes like that. And then set it aside. Alright, so now to prepare the sauce, very, very simple. In Chinese cooking, if you see a red sauce, it is most likely tomato ketchup, or in certain instances, tomato paste. So I just need 80 grams of tomato ketchup. Okay. Finally, I just need 1 cup of chicken soup. I have a recipe for really delicious chicken and rice, and if you make chicken and rice at home, you're never ever gonna run out of chicken soup. You can always stick these into the freezer and just break it out whenever you need it. I'll put a link to my chicken and rice recipe above here and also down below in the description box. Now, if you're going to be using store-bought chicken stock, make sure that you get one that is low sodium or no sodium. This way, you can control the seasoning for yourself. So I'm going to set all my ingredients for the red sauce on one side. Alright, so now step number 3, making the white sauce. So here is 12 pieces of shrimp. This is about 120 grams or so. So 12 pieces of shrimp. You don't need it too big. And right here, I have 50 grams of peas, plus the egg whites from before. So all I have to do right now is just season the shrimp with half a teaspoon of salt, a dash of ground white pepper, and just half a teaspoon of Shaoxing wine. Shaoxing wines are always optional, okay? And I'll also need another cup of chicken stock. And just mix these up. And I just want to mention, I already cleaned the shrimp already. I took out the, the vein, so that's very important. Make sure you clean your shrimp. This white sauce back in the United States, in the American Chinese fast food restaurants, is what you would call a lobster sauce. I know you've seen those in those American Chinese restaurants. It's in those menus, and it's usually a little bit more expensive than all the other menu items. And yes, as you can see, there's no lobster in it at all, but yet it is quite a very popular sauce back in the US. And right here, this is called a slurry. It's a mixture of 1 tablespoon of corn flour plus 2 tablespoons of water. This is going to help thicken up the red sauce and the white sauce. All right, so that's it for step number 3. So now it's time to get cooking. Okay, so the fried rice, I have my heat on at a medium high. And I'm gonna wait for my wok to smoke. And then I'm gonna add about 4 tablespoons of oil. I know it's a lot of oil, but for fried rice, you need a lot of oil. Just spread the oil around. Give the eggs a quick scramble. Throw in the eggs. Let the eggs cook for a little bit, and then throw in the rice. And quickly mix so that the egg yolks color the rice. A proper fried rice has to have a yellowish color, and the egg yolks gives it that yellow color. And we season our rice with just about half a teaspoon of salt. You don't want to use soy sauce because soy sauce will darken the rice. You want to leave the rice with this nice, beautiful golden color. Okay, you know your fried rice is just ready when you sort of see the rice moving around or dancing around or rice crackle and pop. You know that your fried rice is ready. So I'm gonna turn off the heat and just get your tin foil set up like that. And put in the rice. Just fill it in. And just use your ladle to push it down slightly. If one side has too much rice, just move it around. So don't worry too much if one side has more rice than the other. Okay, now I recommend putting this inside an oven just to keep it warm. So now, time to make the red sauce. So I'm using the same wok. I'm going to turn on the heat to a medium high. And again, I'm going to wait for the wok to smoke. And then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of oil, because there's still plenty of oil inside this pan. Then I'm going to throw in my chicken. And I'm just going to cook this chicken until it's about 80% done. Just like that. And I'm going to remove it. The reason why I'm taking it out now is because if I cook this with the sauce from start to finish, it's going to overcook. Now I'm going to lower my pan to a medium heat. I'm going to throw in my onion. And then the tomatoes. Just cook these until they soften up a little bit. Just gonna add a little bit more oil. Then I'm gonna throw in my chicken soup and the ketchup. And as soon as the sauce starts to boil, I'm gonna add about 2 teaspoons of this slurry. And it's gonna help thicken up the sauce. Okay, so that's the consistency that I'm looking for, see? All right, now I'm gonna turn the fire off and I'm just gonna give the sauce a taste. It's good already. Because my chicken stock was seasoned already, so that's how I know my red sauce is gonna taste good. But for you at home, if you need more salt, add more salt. If you want a little more sweet, just add a little bit of sugar. Because normally ketchup is sweet already. That's why I don't add any sugar at all. Okay, just get your plate. And you're gonna cover one side with the sauce, like that. Like that. And like that. All right, now you're gonna have a little bit of sauce left extra. Whoops, just keep it for next time. And then just put this into an oven to just sort of keep it a little bit more warm. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my white sauce. This is a clean pan. I cleaned it out. I'm gonna add just 3 tablespoons or so of oil. And my pan is on a medium heat. I don't want it too hot of a fire because shrimp, they overcook very easily. So I'm just gonna cook these shrimp until it's about 60% done, because I'm gonna continue cooking these with the rest of the sauce later on. Okay, just like that. Gonna remove the shrimp. All right, like so. Set it aside. I'm gonna put my fire on a medium-high heat. Gonna add the chicken stock. And the peas. Okay, and when it starts to bubble like that, just a little bit less than a tablespoon. Just add it in. And I'm just going to wait until it's thick enough to what I like. I just want a little bit thicker than that, so I'm going to add about a teaspoon. Okay, just like that. All right, so it's good. So now I'm going to lower my heat to a medium-low. Take out my egg whites. Just froth it up a little bit. Just a little bit. Stir it up. Just like that. For like 10 seconds. For like 5 seconds. Whoa. And just drop it in to the sauce. And just leave it like that. And we're not going to touch it for like another 5 seconds. And then we'll just go in and break up the egg whites. You don't want your egg whites too clumpy, and you don't want it too broken up. See? Something like that, just like that. drop in the shrimp. And because the shrimp is not fully cooked, we're gonna do it right here, but it's gonna be pretty quick. Because shrimp is very fast to cook, and when you overcook shrimp, they taste just horrible. Just stir it around. There, doesn't that white sauce look good? I mean, lobster sauce. So at this point, we're gonna taste it. It's fine. I'm gonna leave it alone. Take out my fried rice again. Okay, look at that. Check it out. Whoa. There are a lot of ways to make fried rice, but I gotta tell you, this is one of the, slightly more unique. Man, it looks so good, doesn't it? All right, so here's the fun part. It's time to take out the wall. And there you go. Okay, cool. So now you have this cute little yin yang pattern. But I think it can look a little bit better. Kind of like, Bob Ross doing a painting. So just gonna fill it in just a little bit, put in some clouds, some trees, and a little running deer. Cool, just like that. And there you have it, everybody. Yin Yang Chao Fan, or some might call it honeymoon fried rice. And then sometimes I'll go in with the white sauce and the red sauce. Just like being back at a Chinese banquet or a dim sum restaurant. I know it looks like a lot of work. It looks a bit intimidating, but trust me, it doesn't take too much. It's really quick to make. And if your family has never had this before, they're going to be excited to try this one out.